What's up guys, Day0 Gaming here today, and I will be going over the top 5 assault rifles, and then I'll actually have 2 extra ones in here, but let's go right into this. So this is the 4AC. This is like the go-to weapon for me. Obviously this will be a custom list, like some of you guys might not agree with some of my options, so definitely take it with a grain of salt, but the 4AC is definitely my favorite. I know a lot of people will say like, why isn't the Koblin on this list or the Coblin? I feel like it's a little bit too hard to obtain for some players. Um, that being said, it is the best weapon to damage drones, assault rifle wise. So if you are looking to do really good damage to drones, it's probably the Koblin for you or the Coblin. Um, so this is my favorite weapon, the 4AC. Now moving on to my second favorite is actually now the ACAR. It's got the drum magazine, it just fires really well. Its damage is only 32. Some of the other ones on this list will be 37, but this thing just shoots like a laser. So that's definitely my number 2 right there. So the 4AC and then the ACAR. Now number 3, it can kind of be a toss-up. Like the rest on this list are pretty much even. Probably my next on this list though will either be the Silver Stake or the ARX 200. So both of these kind of take the same spot. The ARX 200 maybe is a little bit more accurate. The only issue I have with this weapon here is it's the only weapon in the game currently that the developers messed up. So every weapon that has a bipod option was then supposed to get a bipod and forward grip, but now there's no option for that. It's just the bipod. So I guess I just missed on this one weapon, so that's kind of ignorant, but this weapon right here, definitely pretty, one of my favorites. Now it's not as accurate as the first two on the list, but it does have a lot more damage. It does do 37 damage, so that's why it is so high on this list. At the number 3 spot is its damage, and then its accuracy and stuff isn't too bad, although it's not on the same levels as these others. So next on my list, Silver Stakes at 37 damage. The ACR only has 27, even though they're pretty much the same weapon. From my understanding, the Silver Stake is based off of the ACR in real life, or like maybe someone said the Bushmaster version. I might be wrong, but I do remember someone at one point mentioning that. So this thing does a lot more damage, as you can see, and it's got that slower, just like, you know what I mean? Like it's just, like you can hear it thudding. Which is good. I like the slower fire rate weapons for that reason. You can just hear each and every single bullet, rather than just like something just going brrr, and like, you know. Now, next on the list, I believe is this weapon right here. So the only issue is its damage. So if you're not really worried about damage as much, but you want one that you're gonna shoot more in single shot and you want to hit a target, that's gonna be this one right here. So yeah, the M4A1 Tactical is a pretty nice weapon, but you know, yeah, if you want more like a burst single shot weapon, this will be your guy right here. Just because of, you know, I feel like this one just like the rounds just travel like not slower, but like it's just more easy to gauge where you're shooting with this weapon. Maybe it's like you saw that, like you kind of saw how it shot just then. I'm also gonna take this opportunity to use another weapon to shoot someone. So So another weapon on this list is the ACR. It's just because it's new, pretty much. Like, it's not as good as some of the other weapons. Like, it's pretty much about the same length as the ARX, right? Let's see. Oh, I thought he'd equip it. Oh, he's not gonna equip it, but it's about the same length, I'm pretty sure, which is kind of weird considering the damage difference. Now the fire rate on this one is pretty high, I'm pretty sure, compared to the ARX. Let's see. This one's fire rate is 700 rounds, and that one's 680, so it's really not that much of a difference. So between the two, I'd probably go with the other one. But, you know, this one is new, a lot of people like using it, so I had to put it on this list. Now the M4A1 survival, its damage is so low, 27 damage. That's the one issue I have with some of these weapons. Now you can get a 100 round magazine on this one, which is probably why it damage is so low, but it just makes no sense. Why have one AR with 680 rounds per minute and then have another one with 27, 950, like I mean, I guess the fire rate on this one's pretty high, and then you have a really high magazine, so they didn't want to debalance the game, but I don't know. This one's pretty good for raids, you know, just because of the 100 round magazine capacity. Like if I equip that, like here I'll do that for you guys real quick. Like if you're doing raids and stuff, it's good. It's just like when you're just running around shooting stuff, like it's not gonna hit as hard. Like when you're like targets you only really need a bullet or two to kill, realistically, like this isn't gonna be too great for you. But for spongy bosses, this will be great. Cause yeah, at a single target you can sit there and laser it, you know, like doing sustained damage to something. But realistically, against a dude you only need to shoot in the head. Switch to single shot, you know. And it's not as efficient at getting the as some of the other weapons. So I rest my case with that. But it is better than a lot of the weapons in the game. This was, you know, these are the best tier weapons. Like I'm just saying, out of the others on the top of this list here. And then also the Bren is not on this list. A lot of players like the Bren. I just don't use it. So it's not that the Bren isn't good. It's just I don't use it, so I wouldn't know. I guess kind of like, you know, eating at the same restaurant my whole life. I'm not dipping into the pudding at the other one, so I don't know how good the pudding is. Kind of analogy. Um, so the 4AC is definitely like the best, like overall, just no matter the weather type weapon. You know, just whatever you need. The ARX 200 is more for, you know, just it's got really high damage, so it's more of like maybe like you want to use as a DMR almost, like single shot burst. Although it does shoot alright in full auto. It's just, you know, you don't want to sit there and shoot any weapon full auto. You want to do burst no matter what, like 5 round, 10 round burst maximum at a target, so the bloom doesn't get ridiculous. And that's pretty much it, guys. I'm not gonna hold you much longer. I just wanted to show you guys some of these weapons here, you know, because some of them are pretty cool looking as well, so that's also another thing I failed to mention, you know. Some of these weapons do look a lot better than some of the other ones in the game, so that's also a reason some of these might be on the list instead of some that are very, very similar to them. They just looked a little better. Um, so at least I'll admit it, right? So thank you guys for watching, and I'll definitely see you guys in the next one. Peace out.